Hello, welcome to Sean Disco's midterm presentation. This is just where I go over kind of what I've been doing and the whole of the project. And so the building that I chose for this project was my family's home in Atlanta, Georgia. I chose this just because I was familiar with the layout and I thought it'd be a fun challenge to try and kind of, go through and model something I was familiar with. It seemed to have all the components of kind of the things that we've been learning about in this class. So I thought it would be a fun challenge. So this is a residential home in Atlanta, Georgia, a suburban home, and the size in the model here is around 3,800 square feet. I do not know if that's the actual size, but that was the size that I went with just to make sure that I could get all the features in kind of as accurately as I could. I wasn't really worried about size comparison to the real thing, just making sure I could get all the individual parts of it kind of in this model. And so moving to the level 2 process map here. So obviously we begin with starting the process, and we have to brainstorm and select a building concept. And so I had already had the idea of modeling my own home as a challenge that I wanted to do kind of regardless of whether this came up in the class or not. So this seemed kind of like the perfect opportunity to take advantage of that. And so what was going into that is obviously project info and publicly available building references, and also just my own personal knowledge of the home and the different aspects of it. And so once I had my concept in mind, I had to set up my Revit document and create the architectural and structural models, just going through and placing in all the different important components that were listed on the project info. And then once I had those, I had to assure the coherency between those elements, making sure that nothing was clashing, making sure that nothing was looking weird, just because it was being put in some kind of strange way. And then if that turned out right, which yes it did, I end up with my initial completed 3D model. Moving forward from there, I could link those model views, like the level 1 view and the level 2 and the north, south, east, and west views, to the respective construction documents, just making sure that everything was, everything that was being asked for was on a document. And then I got those documents out. And then once I had all that done, I went back through and validated for LOD 300 compliance, just making sure that everything was up to the right level of detail, and everything, had everything that was referenced in the reference guide, which I used to make sure it was validating. And so once it did satisfy that, I could go through and annotate the construction documents fully, making sure all the titles and everything were in, making sure everything was named correctly, and